we're back with row 23 of the Lions Brand Market Street bag. On row 23, we have 99 stitches, okay? So this is a row that we're going to start decreasing our stitches, and hopefully we'll end up with 96 stitches after this row 23 decrease. So what we're going to do, like always, is we're going to chain our 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to, as always, flip our work, okay? Now, the only deviation from what we usually do is instead of going into the stitch at the top, which is the actual crochet stitch, we're going to go in between these, what we call spokes. So we're going to go in between here. See these big squares? That's where we're heading, okay? And we're going to head in there with our double crochet, and we're going to do 30. And to keep an eye on how many we're doing and 30, we are always counting, but in addition to that, we can put a stitch marker at 30 so we know where we're going, okay? So let's get started. We're going to double crochet into that stitch, and we're just going to keep on getting it for 30 all over that whole pattern. I hope you can see me doing this. If I hold it up too high, it might be a glare. We're going into this big square, and we're doing 30. And we're just doing our double crochets. So we're going to do as many as we need to get over there to our stitch marker, which is 30. You know, when you use stitch markers, you don't have to count 1, 2. Some people like to do that, but sometimes if you're talking with your friends or so forth, you may forget where you are and what number you're on, especially if you're doing a video, an instructional video, and you start talking in between, you may lose count as well. So it's always a good idea to count, but also to have a stitch marker so that you know when you get to that, you have done 30 stitches. Now, and you can kind of eyeball it too, because if you have 99 stitches and you're going to do 30, you know that you have then worked a third of the way around. So you're probably going to do 2 more sets of 30 to get there. And you're going to pretty much be where you need to be. Okay, we are rounding that corner. So basically when I say 30, I'm not saying exactly 30. Obviously it's 33, but we are going to start subtracting so that we end up with 96. So we're double crocheting 2 together, so we're going to end up with 96, losing 3 stitches along the way. And that makes sense too, because if we're doing 3 sets and we're going to do double crochet together at the end of those 3 stitches, that is taking out 3 stitches, which would bring us from 99 to 96. So this is the 30th stitch. Perfect. So we're going to do that double crochet. Now I'm going to remove that stitch marker and place it to the side for later. Make sure I have enough yarn. Now, this is where I'm going to show you what we're doing. I hope you could see this in this new angle. So, basically what we're going to do inside these spokes, we're going to yarn over, we're going to go inside, I'm going to put it down. Should I do it right there? Can you see? We're going to go inside there. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now, we're going to yarn over again, and we're going to go on the other side of that loop. We're going to yarn over and pull up that loop, yarn over, and then we're going to pull through 2. We're going to yarn over. There's 3, 1, 2, 3 stitches. So we're going to pull through all 3. And that, my friends, is how to do double crochet 2 together. Okay? So we've just made that, instead of 99, we've made it 98. Now, what I'm going to do, again, we're going to double crochet into the next 31 spaces on this go round. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. And that number 31, I'm going to take my stitch marker and put it back in there. And that way I know I don't have to count, because I'm going to start gabbing with my friends, and or I just get zoned out or something and I've forgotten to count. But I know that that's going to be 31 stitches. So let's get started. 1 double crochet, and I may just count this 2 double crochet, just because it's very soothing to count 3, and until you get really comfortable with it, like after you've done about 3 bags, it helps to count it. It keeps your rhythm going. It keeps the yarn even and flowing, if you know what I mean. If you've ever gotten into a really long, say Afghan or something like that, where you're doing 96 stitches across, it's great to do a marker, because suppose you have to get up and go do something and you're at row 50, you know you're doing double crochets. It sure is nice to have that stitch marker on stitch 96, so that you can pick up where you literally left off if you have to drop and go do whatever. And that's the beauty of it, because it is kind of freeing. You know, it's good that you can count, because that's so meditative. But it's also good if you can just free yourself from all that numbers for a while, and learn to trust yourself that, yeah, you did put that on the 31st stitch, so it's going to be at the right spot. So when you get there, you know you've gone 31. And some people don't want to rely on that, because they feel like, if I don't count all the way across, I might miscount. I might have made a mistake. It's just as easy to put the stitch marker in, count it 1 time, put the stitch marker, and then do your stitches. Okay, so we're getting really close. We've got about 8 stitches to go before we get to the 31st stitch. And I hope that this angle is really good. You let me know if this is. I'm using my flat lay camera, which this isn't exactly flat, but you get the idea. Okay, so here we are at stitch 31. And I'm doing stitch 31. And I'm going to remove that stitch marker, see? And now, this is the stitch that we're going to stitch 2 together. So, yarn over, go into that space right there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over. Go on the other side of the spoke. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the 3. Okay, and that's your double crochet 2 together. Isn't that great? Awesome. So now you know you've gone 2/3 of the way around, and it makes sense because over here is that's going to be about your 30 stitches till we get to that side. Okay, so 31 is what I mean to say. This should be 31 stitches, okay? So I'm going to go ahead 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay, so 31. All right, what we're gonna do is meet back when you've done your 3rd and final double crochets into the 31 spaces, and then we're going to slip stitch into the beginning chain and the next double crochet, and that should be your 96. So meet me back when you're done with that.